On New Canadians Today, we have with us Mark Batt. He's a Senior Project Manager for S.U.C.C.E.S.S AEIP Pre-Arrival Program and will be talking to us about the organization's efforts in helping newcomers from pre-arrival to post-arrival and all the settlement advice they have. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you.
To start things off, what's your advice for pre-arrival candidates who are preparing to move to Canada? How can they prepare for that transition?
That's a good question. I would recommend that as soon as somebody has approval to travel to Canada, they should seek out pre-arrival services, because no matter how much you think you're prepared to move to Canada, most people have made a conscious choice to move to Canada. However, the actual movement of your family, all your belongings, getting ready for working Canada, there are many challenges that you don't foresee. So the pre-arrival services provide information to you, which really helps the clients make an informed decision about what they should be doing when they arrive in Canada. So settlement services, employment services, foreign credential recognition if that's needed, preparation for things like banking, the banking system, the healthcare system. Many things that you think will be there and ready and open to you when you arrive, it can actually be quite complicated depending on where you land. Most pre-arrival programs work with partners post-arrival across Canada. As you know, in our organization, we have the same thing. We have partners across Canada. So we link our clients with the partners in provinces, municipalities, in regions that they are going to be landing in. So they're the resource experts. We just connect them. So the key piece of advice is seek out the experts, seek out pre-arrival services.
Now at S.U.C.C.E.S.S, you, besides pre-arrival services, also have a lot of post-arrival support.
Yes.
Tell us more about what S.U.C.C.E.S.S does and that advice and support.
Well, we have many programs for post-arrivals. The largest would be the Settlement Integration Project, or AEIP. So that's the settlement services. And again, within the post-arrival settlement services, we provide, again, settlement, information on housing, education, healthcare, also employment services. Also connections to various bridging programs. So if somebody did need to take extra courses for upgrading the skill set, then we have connections for that. We also have different programs for newcomers who may not quite fit the usual profile of a newcomer. So maybe they've already lived in Canada, they've moved back to their original country, they come back and they don't quite have the PR status. We have programs for those too. So we like to think, as with most other post-arrival programs, we cover all of the needs of newcomers coming to Canada.
Talk to us also about how these services are delivered. Is everything online, or are these also in person at sometimes events?
Well, for the most part, moving out of COVID, we've transitioned from purely online to a hybrid model. But now we are providing services in person. So this is really dependent on the needs of the client. So it's a kind of a holistic approach to providing services. If somebody is more comfortable getting services online, we have that capacity. If somebody wants to come in and speak to somebody in their own language, we have that capacity also. We provide services in excess of 40 different languages. As an agency, we are based in British Columbia in Vancouver. We have a number of offices around the Lower Mainland, Surrey, Richmond, and the Tri-Cities, obviously also in Vancouver. We also have in northern BC an office there as well. For the pre-arrival programs, our main office is based here in Vancouver. We also have offices in Seoul, Korea, in Beijing and Guangzhou. So we are quite spread out, and we like to think we're able to provide services 24/7. The reason for the overseas offices is to be able to provide services in any time zone at any given time.
And lastly, what I want to know is, how does S.U.C.C.E.S.S work collaboratively with other community partners and organizations in making sure that these services are delivered more effectively to newcomers and they can succeed?
Well, most recently I've been working with the settlement program in Burnaby, in BC. And I know in Burnaby, as with all the other regions that S.U.C.C.E.S.S works in, we are connected with local stakeholders. So that could be the municipal government, that could be with the neighborhood houses, with various local immigrant integration projects. From the pre-arrival side, we have partnerships across Canada. So again, we are referring our clients, knowing where they're going to be landing. We have what we call a warm referral, whereby we connect them with one of our partners, whether it's Ontario, in PEI, or Alberta. And if we know they're landing in a specific area, we set them up with a connection to that particular agency. And then there's a handoff. And so we'd like to make sure it's, as I say, a holistic approach.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing all of that information with us,
You're
Mark.
welcome.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.